everybody, my name is Ryunn Eldred and I am your proprietor today for The Drinking Corner. I am accompanied by my patrons, ItsYaBoi Chris, Razgriz the BossFoss, and Mr. Retro. Today we are going to be talking about retro games and retro gaming consoles throughout the years. Before we begin, we're going to serve off our first round and see how everybody is doing today. We will start with our kind of returning guest here who hasn't been here in a while. Retro, how are you doing?
Returning guest. Look here, pal. I ain't no guest just because I've been gone. Doesn't mean I don't run this show, all right? Don't forget that. Who won the last episode? I did.
When was the last episode again?
6 months ago.
Who, pray tell, is hosting today's episode?
It's been too long, that's for sure. But I'm doing good, man. I'm here in my house and I live with my girlfriend now, and I've been happy and eating good and just busy when I'm not working, with all the kiddos and stuff.
So in other words, you're saying in the 6 months you've been gone, you've just been getting a lot of actual stuff done.
Yeah, I have been.
And here we all thought you were in Tahiti, sipping on mimosas.
Not really, but yeah, everything's been good, man. I missed. Honestly, I've really been missing talking with you guys and doing this and all that. So sorry, I got these little like gnats or something buzzing around my face. I don't know where they're at.
Fine.
Like see them every now and then.
I mean, John, if I'm gonna be completely honest, we haven't gone anywhere. We've always been here.
Oh, I know. I just
we've just been patiently waiting for your return.
I know.
I always come here too.
It's been too long.
So, pray tell, John, are you sipping on anything today?
Not really.
Do you have a drink of
pomegranate juice and I got water. I only have rum and I don't feel like drinking rum right now.
So. You don't want to drink rum on a random Tuesday night?
I mean, if I had something to drink with it, I probably would. But
all right, we'll pass the bottle to. Oh, dude, eggnog would be so good. Not even like alcoholic eggnog. I have not.
The season.
I have not had actual eggnog, and I want to say about four to 5 years, if I could remember. Just because my mom's ex-fiance like killed eggnog for me. Just ruined it. I think when we get our checks tonight, I might go and get a bottle of eggnog tomorrow.
Yeah, you know what was really good that I don't think I've ever had was it warmed up.
I've never had warm eggnog.
Put it in a little pan.
If you ever go to Starbucks will do it. And it was always a running joke that anytime somebody would steam the eggnog, you can't hear anything in the store anymore because it's so loud. So when they start having the eggnog drinks, which should be relatively soon, just go to Starbucks and you'll just hear the loudest scream from that machine.
Yeah.
But intriguing.
Warmed up, it is very good.
It's funny because I know exactly what you mean. My lady's got a coffee, like an espresso machine that has the little steam spout on it, and that thing, dude, it does. When you say it screams, you're not joking. It friggin' it's like a ear-piercing noise. It's horrible.
So we always in the microphone you just go warming up eggnog, and then even at the cash register it goes, okay, one moment, let's let this pass because you cannot have a conversation when that thing is going. Normal milk, it's loud, but it's not screaming eggnog loud.
That's funny.
Anyway, sorry.
All right, Mr. Retro, pass the bottle to the next person who is going to talk about how they've been. You get to select the next.
Pass the bottle.
Pass the bottle.
Let's see here. BossFoss. Senor David.
Hello.
Please take the bottle and let us know how you've been, man. What have you been up to?
Well, I feel like I updated not too long ago with R&R, but Today's my anniversary, my wedding anniversary. So I am gracing you guys with the last couple hours of my existence today.
Gosh,
Okay,
say
man.
it so
Congratulations,
gloomy.
2 years, huh?
Yep. It's been 2 years since I married my beautiful wife.
That's awesome.
We have our tiffs and tats every so often, but end of the day, we still sleep in the same bed, so it's gotta count for something, right?
Well, that's beautiful.
Thank you. Other than that, I've been good. I'm really looking forward to my week-long vacation coming up in next week. And then
I look so forward to that job.
yeah, it's nice having vacations and having weekends off, and knowing that at 3:35 when school gets out. Spoiler for those of you who may not know, I work for a school.
We do so hard. We do so hard to hide where you work for so many years.
Yeah, I will continue to refuse to tell you guys where I live and where I work, but yes. Anyway, vacation is great. It's going to be a week-long vacation. I'm back for 2 weeks. We have finals week, and then I have another 2-week vacation for Christmas. So. Yeah, kids are annoying so much, so annoying sometimes. But that's the job. Just got to do the job. I've just been waiting for my pre-orders to show up.
What pre-orders do you have left? Because I think the
Stalker 2, which comes out
today, technically
tomorrow.
Well,
actually, I think it comes out Friday, but if you have the Ultimate Edition, it comes out 2 days earlier.
Because the last pre-order I heard that you got was Metaphor Re Fantasio.
Yeah, fantastic game. It's actually up for Game of the Year, surprisingly. Like, it's a fantastic game. Like, I thoroughly enjoyed it. But that's going to be another topic, because do you know what else is up for Game of the Year?
I am salty. When I get asked how I'm doing, I'll talk about it, because I am salty.
It's your boy Retro. Sorry. Do you guys know what is up for Game of the Year right now? That's right, a DLC. A DLC is up for Game of the Year.
Elden Ring,
really?
Which
the
already
Elden Ring
won.
DLC is up for Game of the Year.
Which already won Game of the Year when Elden Ring came out, is nominated for Game of the Year for Shadow of the Earth.
Are you shitting me?
Not shitting.
Serious?
Look it up if you have your computer.
Oh my goodness gracious! That is.
But we'll have a topic on that one.
You want to know what game didn't get nominated for Game of the Year? Silent Hill 2.
No. It is nominated for an award, I did see.
It is nominated for an award, but not Game of the Year, which I guess is understandable.
But anyway,
that was 2 years ago.
That is how I am.
It said Spider-Man 2 is 2 years ago.
No, it wasn't.
It was not. It was nominated in the same year as Elden Ring. Doesn't it not feel
like it though?
Or 2 years ago? No way.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, because this upcoming year would have been the year we would have been
last year.
Yeah, so it's been out for a year already.
You're saying 2 years. You said it was 2 years ago.
I thought it came out year. I thought it came out in like December of last year.
I was October of 2023.
Oh, okay. Damn, dude.
So technically 2 years in terms of game show awards, though, right?
Yes.
No, because Black Ops 6 is also on the game show, and that was released on the 25th of October. So Spider-Man 2 could have still qualified.
Huh.
But anyway, I'm going to pass the bottle. Oh, and to answer your question, I'm drinking Dr. Pepper in a non-sponsored Panda Express cup, and I'm drinking water. I'm gonna pass the bottle per se, or pass the shot glass to the person messing with their camera a second ago.
Sorry. Well,
Okay, sorry.
The one time Chris uses his camera
I'm just
for a
trying. Yeah,
podcast.
It's hard to
Do you
get used
need
to
a
where
moment?
my.
I can pass the bottle to
Oh
Tim
no,
instead.
no, I'm good. Well, I'm good.
Okay.
Well, I am doing wonderful. It's my day off, so I hung out with my family, did some stuff, and had a really good time. Been drinking some of the brewskis and you know doing some of the devil's lettuce partation, and I've had a really good day. Like Retro said, I really miss doing this with you guys, so I'm happy to be here, and I'm ready to have a fun time talking to you guys about some retro games, man. Like, let's get this shit going. Passing the bottle to my brother, Ryunn Eldred.
Well, I'm doing pretty good. It feels great to not be the only screen on screen for a Drinking Corner podcast. That's pretty
Fuck.
good.
Fuck you, man.
I'm only referencing the last one. I'm sorry, man.
Oh, okay.
But I'm doing pretty good. Just got some good news that I don't want to bring into fruition just quite yet, but I might be having a change of pace in life here relatively soon, coming next month. So I'm happy and excited. Kind of nervous to see how my time schedule is gonna be altered and all that, but it's gonna be for the best. I also found out my roommate's no longer gonna be my roommate in like a week and a half, so that's also news. So yeah, yay, yay! So I'm dealing with slightly stressful situations preparing for the holidays because I'm not 100% sure what I was going to do for Thanksgiving. The original plan was I wanted to go up to Eureka with my mom for her birthday and then stay up there to visit one of my friends for Thanksgiving because my mom's going to be going on a naval cruise. But being the fact that Eureka is being smacked with a small hurricane as we speak, I don't know if that plan's happening anymore. And my
As far
check's
as
really small.
as
So I
far
don't
as
know
I
if I
know,
could afford
the
the gas.
storm is only hitting this weekend.
I agree, David.
Eureka, I haven't heard about that yet.
Yeah, I'm getting current updates about it right now. Most of Eureka is out of power from this hurricane. There is literal 99-mile-an-hour winds from what I am being told. So I guess I shouldn't really say literal like it's factual, but 99-mile-an-hour winds, power's out, heavy rain, cold as shit.
Sounds
But
all right.
I digress. Let's get into the main serving of what we're going to be talking about today. We are going to be talking about retro gaming. Can either of you guys, for a point here, tell me what year the very first at-home game console was released?
Yeah.
Yeesh.
And I promise I don't have a photo up. I'm going to say 73.
I was thinking 1974, actually.
73, 74. What do you think, Chris?
Oh God, 71.
So two of you are really close.
Was it Atari, though?
It was not Atari. John, you're out of this either which way. Could either of you guess the name or what game was the first at-home console?
Pong. I remember it was Pong. That was the first TV. I just don't remember what console
Pong was
it
Atari.
was.
It's not a console that exists anymore. I don't know the actual name. I mean I do because my tab accidentally opened, so I saw it. But I because I was opening up the weather radar, so that's what ended up happening. So I'm not going to give the answer on this one. I'm gonna let you have this one.
I will give Chris a point for this because he was the closest and had one fraction of it right. We are going all the way back to 1972, all the way to 2006 as we talk about at-home gaming systems and whether or not we've played them, what favorite memories and what our first games were for those. But the very first at-home game system, which you were only able to play Pong, was in 1972, the Magnavox Odyssey. And literally the only game you were able to play on it was Pong. And then Atari. What's going on here? Who
I was
pulled in
showing the weather radar.
Oh, I was like, why are we showing the weather? Damn, that's what's hitting Eureka right now.
Yeah. So I will talk for you guys so that way it'll pop up. This is currently what's hitting California. And I will now stop sharing my screen and let this continue back to what we were talking about.
It's okay. I had no idea what was going on, so the screen changed.
I said I was
like,
pulling up the weather radar.
I guess this would be a perfect time to mention, apart from listening to this podcast on any of your podcast listening applications, you could catch the video version of this in which we have, all four of our beautiful faces. And we'll have a timeline of the game, systems, and other visual effects for people who want to be visually stimulated as well during this podcast. Especially at Chris's little chin hairs that I'm playing around with my mouse. Yeah. But yeah, the very first at-home game system was the Magnavox Odyssey from 1972, which the only game was Pong. And then John.
Pong was on console before Atari, huh? That's cool.
Yep.
I didn't know that.
The very next system, which you would have been technically correct, was the Atari Home Pong system that came out in 1975.
Ooh.
So, from this moment forward, from 75 all the way to 2006, I'm going to mention a game console. Some of these I'll have little tidbits of information about, other ones not so much. But what we're going to do is we're going to take a brief moment, and if you've played the console, you're going to get an opportunity to score points. All right. Sounds good?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
So if you just say it and I'm just like, oh, played it.
You'll qualify for points, but I will take points away if I detect
just like,
any bullshittery. Yes. You know what? Matter of fact, Chris, I'm starting you off with a handicap of -5. All right. We're jumping into the year of 1976. Also, by the way, since I know me and David are relatively the same age, being 90s babies, Chris, you're 2000?
Yeah, I was born in 2002.
And then
January
John,
13th.
I want to say you were 84, 85.
Really? I am not that friggin' old.
No, he was 79.
The year that you were born, smartass.
I am in 1990.
Oh, 90 exact, huh? All right. Well, you still have the better odds out of the other two contestants. So we're gonna jump into 1976.
I also have a brother 8 years older than I am, so I was introduced to a lot of stuff before my time as well. So I think I will have a little slight advantage.
Watch you still lose.
Well, it's in your name, Retro. I hope that you win this.
All right. 1976, we had the first swappable cartridge game system, which opened the door for console longevity. We have the Fairchild Channel F. Anybody heard or played of it?
Oh yeah. I totally heard of that one.
Well, no. So I remember my dad. I haven't played it, but I remember my dad saying when he was a kid, he used to bring a handheld device to, so like a gaming system to his school and stuff like that. But it was really fat. I don't think that was the name of it. I think there was one that maybe came after a little bit after that. But I do remember him saying bringing a big old fat like gaming thing to his school.
Sega Game Gear. I bet money on that, bro.
Yeah, this one's probably still like TV requirement.
Oh, real? Okay.
Yes, we are in the era of non-handheld, non-portable gaming consoles.
Okay. Well, yeah.
So,
Before
really cool thing about the Fairchild Channel F gaming console was that it had such a huge impact on the gaming like history that Airlisoft collection released like a set of games in 2022 that brought back all the games from the Fairchild to modern audiences. All
such
right.
as what games?
I did not do that much research.
Shame on you.
I've negative 3 points for myself here. Ryunn. -3. Improper preparation. All right. Let's go to 1976. We have the game system that commercialized sports games. We have the Coleco Telstar.
Never.
Never heard of it?
Never.
Never heard of it. All right. We're
Never.
jumping, and this is going to be very specific, to the Atari 2600, which came out in 1977.
Wow.
And
It was probably the big box with like the little joystick and the button, like the single button. You know, something like that.
Hey, Tim, it's
Yeah.
missing from our list.
Should be in your guys' list.
Like the name, but like the actual picture and everything is not.
oh, do we have a list pulled up?
Some
have
of
a list
the
pulled up.
some of the things. So where I'm pulling this timeline from, I can't find the article anymore because I was like 3 o'clock doom scrolling on my phone when I found it to give a little bit of information. So everything we have is from screenshots. I did do a little bit of extra like stuff, but yes, the images and everything that's going to come for this is coming in post. All right. In 1979, we had the gaming system that rivaled the Atari as it brought better graphic ports of cabinet arcade games to people's homes. We have Intellivision. Nope,
I've
another
had
one.
a television, but you know.
Oh, boom.
But have you
See,
ever
I was gonna make
played
that joke too, but I
television?
was like, no. If I make that joke, I feel like I'm gonna get negative points.
I took the risk.
Listen, Chris is already at -5. He needs some positive reinforcement.
Oh, that was a real handicap.
No, he should have only been at like -4 because didn't you say he got a point for the first
I
thing?
got a point for Pong.
Listen,
Yeah.
listen,
Yeah.
don't worry about how many points and how I am like judging the system here. Perfect blur out, all right?
All right,
Yeah,
whatever.
nope. Oh, there we go.
Whatever.
Yeah, let me do my thing, okay?
Hey, I just
Who's
work
hosting?
here, bro.
Who's hosting? This ugly.
Not you, apparently.
Who did improper preparation for their hosting job today, okay? This guy.
You.
This guy.
It
So
was
nothing
definitely
for Intellivision?
Nada.
No.
All right. In 1982, this gaming console brought in more arcade ports into homes, including Nintendo's very own Donkey Kong. We have ColecoVision.
Didn't we already say ColecoVision?
No, we said Intellivision.
What's in television?
It's a game console that brought in primarily sports games.
I'm messing with you, Tim. I'm messing with you.
So is it like built in your television set?
That's what it sounds like.
I hate all of you.
Kind of break it down for me now.
One of them TVs with the controller that had little buttons on it, you know?
I have a TV that you pull an antenna out of the top with you put batteries in it, and you gotta like put it to the side a little bit to watch.
Yeah, and you gotta like smack that
You gotta have somebody like holding on to it just to get the
Oh,
signal, you know?
I love how I'm having more reminiscent memories of the TV itself. So ColecoVision, I do know. I have seen one. My grandpa owned one at one
Well,
point.
Lottie freaking dog. Great.
Lottie fucking-
Good for you.
You know what?
Give
I'm pulling
yourself a point.
I am. I'm
Where's
now
the
negative
picture?
-2 points.
Paint us a picture. How was it? Did you ever get to?
I never got a chance to play it because by
Oh,
the time my grandpa pulled it out, we had nothing to play it on.
ew.
And it
You
was
didn't
like
have an
old.
Intellivision.
All right, 1985, we get Nintendo's Entertainment System, the NES.
Woo-hoo. Here's where I
Judging.
come around.
Yeah, I played it.
Okay, John.
Here's where I come around.
Oh,
Y'all
did you
fuck
say you
now.
played it too, David?
I played on the NES. It's
All
I
right.
mean, it wasn't that long ago that I played on one, but yeah.
Hey, at any point in your life, you're able to pull this up.
So I do have a question though about the Nintendo Entertainment Center. Out of you three, what game comes to mind when you think about that system? First off,
I would say old school.
The Super Mario World, I think.
Ah, like
Mario.
older school Nintendo games like Donkey Kong, and I would say Mario. I want to say Galaxy was on it.
Galaxy?
No,
God,
not
God, no,
Galaxy.
no.
No,
Super
which one
Mario
was it?
World.
It wasn't. It was it Mario World?
Super
it
Mario
But
World.
we
was
also have Mario.
It
Mario
wasn't
World.
Kart
straight
on that
line
one
super.
too.
It
It was
wasn't
Super
straight.
Mario Bros.
Oh,
That's
Super Mario Bros. That's what it was.
Super Mario Brothers. So I had one of my cartridges had Duck Hunt and Super Mario Brothers. There was two games on one cartridge that you could choose from, and I had the little the light gun, and it made this god awful sound when you click that trigger down, like ka-ching, 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 and oh man, dude, drive my mom insane with that game. But it was so fun, dude, because you could just. It was one of my like earliest childhood game memories, core memories.
I
Was Mario.
I don't have that cool of a story. It was in my dentist office. And
Whoa.
so we would go to the dentist office. It was the only reason why I was excited about ever going to the dentist. And so I would just go to the game room and I would just stand in there and play whatever games they had. So it started with the NES and then they ended up having some newer consoles in there. But I'll get to that later.
well. And anything else to say about the NES before I start contributing points based off of your two guys?
The NES. I do have a funny story about one of those games actually. So there, oh God, so many games come to mind when I think about that. There was one called Dino Ricky, and it was a like you were this caveman and you were going straight like up this level, dude, and shit is just flying at you, and you got to dodge and dip and get like upgrades and weapons to throw at them, and it was that system had probably the most like fast pace, stressful, unbeatable games that I've ever played in my life. Like,
Isn't that the beautiful thing about older games?
yeah, like you're addicted to them when you're a kid, but as you grow up, you're like, dude, I don't want to play this shit. It's gonna give me a freaking panic attack. Anxiety kicks in. But anyway, I'm sorry. There was this one game called The Adventures of Lolo, and I think we used to call it like
Sounds
Lolo Land or something. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it's a weird puzzle solving game, and it's so freaking complicated. And if you die, you get 3 lives, and if you die, you go back to the beginning of the entire game. There's no like I thought there was no way to go back, but every level it gives you a password. And for some reason, my mom, my brother, and I did not even realize that you could be writing down passwords
to go back to the level.
to go back to the level that you
That
died
is
life on.
honestly such a really cool save system mechanic.
It is really cool because each level had a password. And so when you die, because you couldn't save games, that was before you could save a game.
Oh,
If you died in one of those games, you go back to the freaking very beginning of the whole thing.
There is something else about the NES which I just had to confirm. Konami code. Contra.
Contra, up, up, down, down, left, right, BA, select, start. Oh no, was that? Nintendo?
Yeah, that was on the NES. I just confirmed it because I'm like, I'm 99% sure it was Contra on the NES.
Is that right?
But then I started doubting. I'm like, wait, was it NES or was it the Super Nintendo Entertainment System?
I think that one. It's
Love
up,
you
up,
for that.
down, down, left, right, left, up, up,
B
up, down, down,
down, left, right, BA start.
Yeah.
BA select start.
Do you remember what the Konami code gave you in Contra?
50 lives?
I want to say it was 99.
99 lives? Oh no, that was Donkey Kong. Okay, that's another system. I'll get to that later, but that's probably coming up next.
Probably.
All right, but yeah, anyway, that's my ramble on the NES.
All right. In the year of 1985, we were introduced to the very first handheld gaming console, which was the Tiger Electronics LCD. It was the first game for it was a bowling little sports game where all you did was bowling, but as the years went on, it became widely known as the cheap alternative, and it had ports of games like Sonic the Hedgehog, Street Fighter 2, and Mortal Kombat.
Brown.
Never heard of it.
Were those the
So,
little individual ones you could buy at like stores that only had that game?
so we all, I guarantee, have came across one of these at some point
Oh.
in our life.
Can you share the picture of one?
I do not have one readily available.
David, could
What
you?
was
because
it-
they're
what was
the
it called?
cartridges that will say
Tiger Electronics LCD handheld.
Yeah. David, pull that up. I really want to see
no,
that.
dude. David's on the fucking case, bro. He's
Right?
on it.
David's about to get a bonus point for just being
I'm
there to
I'm
pick up my
wondering if it's
slack.
the ones because
Here,
they
let me
used
go on
to-
my
Oh my
computer
god,
real
no
quick.
way. Yeah, I have seen these before.
they're bringing them back too. I think.
Yeah.
They're not a company that ever went away.
So bear with me, guys. I gotta actually make this screen bigger
Yes.
for myself.
Okay.
I've
Okay.
had the X-Men one, the Sonic
Yeah.
one. I've had the Spider-Man one.
Those are the coolest. So these. Oh my god, I can't even remember which one I had.
I've
dude.
had Wheel of Fortune too.
I think I had Power Rangers. I'm pretty sure I had Power Rangers, but
I want to say I had Power Rangers. I think my sister had Little Mermaid.
dude, that X-Men one was so badass. But these, it was like it was cool because when you look at the screen, you can see the patterns like of everything that it would like change from little. It's hard to explain. Like you can see, you look at them and you can see how it's like black outlined
Yeah.
for the characters. But if you pull one up, try to like pull one up in a like the X-Men one or the Power Rangers one or something. Because if you look, like when you were holding one, you could see. Oh no, not from there. But they had like determined places where the characters could go,
Right.
and you could just kind of go back and forth between certain spots. It wasn't like a free roam style. So they were really fun to play, though, man.
All right. I'm going to stop the share. So I guess I have played one of those. I just didn't realize it.
That's why I added in there. I was like, at some point in our life, we all have played a Tiger Electronics LCD handheld. Probably not the 1985 bowling one, but at some point down the road in our life, we have. Which I guess leads into the next year's system, 1986. We have these.
Really quick, since we're on this kind of like little handheld system thing, I got this to show real quick. I have one of those ones you would plug into your TV set.
Bro.
Nice. I had a SpongeBob one.
What?
Badass.
You know, it'd be really cool with the Spider-Man one if it opened up to that old school like PlayStation Spider-Man game where it starts off with him crawling up the side of like the Baxter building or whatever.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. I plugged it in and tried it out. And it's like a bank heist kind of thing. Like people are robbing banks, you gotta go in there and beat the shit out of them. Pretty fun though.
Nice. So as I was saying, in 1986, we had the Sega Master System.
Sega.
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 So the Sega Master System
think
is the
so.
console that really brought Sega out into the gaming world in terms of like at home buying, purchasing. I'm completely spacing on the word for it right now. Consumership. There we go. And then, following the Sega Master System in 1986, we also had the Atari 7800.
Whoa,
And
really?
what year was that?
1986.
Wow. So Atari came out with the system.
Man.
Atari came out with quite a few systems, with the
Yeah.
Atari At Home Pong, the Atari
I didn't
2600.
realize they came out with one in that year that like that late. That's pretty cool.
I mean, if you want to get technical, Atari's releasing another system. I think it was either recently within the last few years, or they have another system coming out in the future here in a few years. Not like
Really?
not something to compete with like
Next
Xbox
gen.
or next gen, but it was meant to be like a what's the word I'm looking for? Refurbished console type thing.
More of a nostalgic thing than anything.
Yeah, kind of like the little mini PlayStations or the old school SNESs and NESs that have the games pre-installed on them type thing.
Oh yeah.
But we had the Atari 7800. We had the TurboGrafx X16 that came out in 1989.
TurboGrafx X16.
Do you know that at all, or are you
Heard of
just like
it.
hyping up the name? But like I did when I read it. Because this is probably one of the last consoles you guys would not have heard whatsoever.
Yeah.
Outside of a few random ones that we're going to be coming across. All right. Next up is Sega's second console, the Sega Genesis, which released in 1989.
Sonic, baby.
Played
All
it.
right.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Chris, are you getting in on the points grab? Did you ever play the Genesis?
Nope. No, sir.
All right. So, John and David, do you guys remember the first game you guys ever played for the console?
Sonic.
I would say Sonic is a very viable answer since Sonic
2.
is Sega's flagship character.
Yeah.
I know I played it, but I couldn't tell you what I played.
There was one game I never had a Sega Genesis, but my friend had one. And it was a really freaking cool game that I'll never forget, but I don't remember the name of it. You would like, it was kind of like a comic book style. Like you could see the comic strips and your character would go from like different scenes. It was pretty cool. I think it was like a fighting game or something kind of like that.
That is honestly really interesting, and I don't know what game you're talking about. The only game I personally ever played on Sega Genesis would have been Sonic the Hedgehog. And I only played it because my neighbors.
It might have been Sonic the Hedgehog.
Maybe Mortal
but
Kombat. Actually, I think Mortal Kombat was on Genesis too.
yeah,
It
I'm
was.
full transparency. I have a bunch of games pulled up for the Genesis. John Madden football.
Ooh.
Oh.
These
What?
are games that are currently for sale.
Dude, Madden games are so complicated back then.
Yeah.
Oh, I would assume so.
Oh my god, it was crazy. It was
NBA
Especially,
Jam.
with being so used to today's,
mhm.
Football rules, and then all of a sudden going back, and it's just like, dude, just fucking go and kill them. Just do it. Just go out there, throw the fucking ball, kill them.
Yeah. I don't remember the first game that I played. I know that I've played some of these Sonic games. Might have been on the Genesis, might not have been on the Genesis though, so I'm not going to claim it.
All right.
So I will say that if you want to give me a point for the fact that I know I played it, great. If you're just giving 1 point for the entire thing, I would say John should probably get it because I couldn't tell you what I played.
My points, to be completely like fair at this given moment, my points are on a very, very extreme sliding scale. We got positive points of full like 1 to 2. We have half integers. We have negative
Jesus
points.
Christ. Okay.
Half integers.
All right. So
I found the game really quick. I found the game. It's called Comics Zone.
that's the game you're talking about where you jump through the pages of the comic book.
Comics with an X.
Oh, comics.
Comics Zone. Yeah. And it looks pretty. It looks like how I remember it. That's funny.
All right. Let's jump into 1989 with a system I know for a fact we've all heard of, the Nintendo Game Boy.
Oh, okay.
Oh shit, look how happy Chris got.
Not that one.
Yep, nope.
Oh,
not that one.
My bad. David, you're right. Scratch that. Erase that.
It was the brick one.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
You know
it's
what?
Like, fucking
for Chris pre-hyping me up thinking he had an old school Game Boy, I gotta give him negative point.
Oh no!
Oh, hate to see it.
I'm gonna just win it back, bro. I got a whole thing going on. Just it's all cool.
But yes, as David stated, the Game Boy we're talking about here was the solid brick Game Boy, the OG. I'm assuming David's played one since he was able to correctly guesstimate it. John, you ever play the Nintendo Game Boy?
I have the Game Boy gray brick with like the weird purpley kind of colored buttons.
I play it too.
Okay,
green,
Chris, I'll take away your negative
screen.
1. But I'm watching you. I'm watching you.
Yeah, no, I love the Game Boy.
All right, all 3 of you are in for earning points on this. Can you guys recall what the first game you played for the Game Boy would have been?
I know it was Pokemon.
Toy Story.
Pokemon Yellow.
I don't know what color it was, but I know it was Pokemon. Okay. It wasn't mine. I didn't own the system, so
actually I don't know if Pokemon the colored games were out until Game Boy Color came out.
Yeah,
I don't remember the original
because it was the cartridges were like the long cartridges. I want to say it was a Pokemon.
Yeah, it was the big old fat like square ones.
Yeah. Huh. So cool thing is my friend had a Super Nintendo cartridge that would go in that had a spot that you could put your Game Boy games in and play them through your Super Nintendo on your TV.
That's cool.
They had the same thing on Game Boy. You can not Game Boy.
GameCube.
Thank you, GameCube, where you can connect something and you can play Game Boy cartridges through your TV and stuff like that.
Cool. Yeah, I love how they did that.
Do you guys by chance have a favorite game for the Game Boy that you could remember?
Man, I had Pac-Man, which I played a lot of. I know it's like really cheesy, but I had a lot of fun on that one. Toy Story was really fun, but Grand Theft Auto,
John, Pokemon Yellow was Pokemon Blue, Pokemon Red.
Yeah, okay.
They were all on the original.
Yeah, because all the color cartridge meant was what starter I thought it was, right? Because red was for fire, yellow was for electricity, blue was for water.
Yeah.
And then green was the grass. If I remember right, I could be wrong.
They didn't have green. The games.
No, green was not on the original anyway.
Not on the original, yeah.
Yeah. So I want to say it was red is what I played looking at the list.
I feel like most people remember red or yellow the most. Because I hear a lot about red when people talk about older Pokemon games. everybody looks very fondly at Pokemon Red.
I like all of them.
I really
Honestly,
wanted to
people get
play the open world one that was kind of like Zelda, but never got a chance. I think it was called
I
like
have it. Shield.
Actius or
I have
something.
Oh, Pokemon Legends. It's on the Switch.
open world.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was open
Well,
world.
it's kind of open world. I got Shield because they made Sword and
No,
Shield.
it was called Pokemon like it started
It was
with an A.
Pokemon Legends, Arceus or
Is it?
Arceus or something like that. Yeah,
Oh,
I remember that game. I mean, granted, it wasn't that long ago. I would remember selling
Yeah,
it at
Pokemon
GameStop.
Legends Arceus. Arceus.
okay, so
Always
isn't that
wanted to
one of
play
the
that one.
legendary birds?
Hmm
Thought so. I
I
always
watched my
loved
mom's ex-husband or ex-fiance play it, but that was as close as I got to playing it.
it.
Katie,
All right.
Katie played it. I think Katie owns it.
I still play Pokemon Go.
I haven't opened that one up in a long time.
All right.
So,
So after the Nintendo Game Boy, I think I awarded points for that. We have in 1989 the Atari Lynx.
Mm,
Nope.
I can't say I
I don't
haven't
think so.
played the
All
Atari
right,
game.
we'll jump right into the 90s. We're looking at 1991. We had the SNES.
NES, Super Nintendo Entertainment System.
Yep, I played that one.
so my dad, he had it, and we used to live over by Derryville, and it was Electric Avenue, and he gave it to me, and
You
I
went
have a
down to
demonstration.
Electric
I
Avenue.
could tell you the same exact thing. Okay, my demonstration. This bottle cap right here is the boxes. This is Mario. I'm gonna sing the song for you. You know, down, down, do 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 down, and then he goes over and gets Yoshi. So it's awesome. It was an amazing game. Super Mario Brothers on Super Nintendo.
Actually, is Super Mario World. So
That's
Hey,
negative
John, just mind your
246.0.
business, okay? Just mind your business, John.
How about
You
you,
didn't do the
David?
presentation.
I see you researching.
I it was Super Mario World. I just got curious, so I started going through and looking at what other games to see if any of them like popped up in my head, and like a few of these titles do, but I don't remember if I played them on
Did you
the
guys ever play
SNES.
Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island with Baby Mario? No?
So
No.
Nintendo is honestly one of the consoles I've never really owned until well into my adulthood. So like I just got a 3DS and I have the Switch. But through the
Well,
Switch, I will say, thankfully, through the Switch, I have, because of the Nintendo membership, been playing the like retro games that you get through your membership from like the NES,
awesome.
SNES.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love it. I've been playing older Nintendo games because of that. Like very appreciative. Like the OG Zelda.
Mm-hmm.
I'm currently playing the OG Zelda on my Switch because I never got a chance to grow up and play it. I've always been interested in Zelda, but never had a chance to play like Ocarina of Time or
That game's such a
Skyward
cool game.
Sword or whatever.
Those are good.
But as David does a little bit of research into the games, John, you got anything to say about the SNES? Your first game, your favorite memory,
God.
any other little tidbits
So,
of stuff that I'm looking for?
oh man. So yeah, I had a red cartridge. Spider-Man Maximum Carnage was probably one of the games I played the most. Um, Super Mario World, of course. That game, many hours of my life on that game. Let's see here. So one of the most complicated but fun games I've ever played on there that I got for Christmas. So when I got my Super Nintendo, it wasn't the big square, or it wasn't the big square box one that you push to eject. It was the like mini version of it where you just pull it out. You just pull the cartridge out.
Right.
And it was a small little thing, I liked it. But I got that, and I got a couple games, but the only one I can remember was Goof Troop. And it was the goofy it was kind of like a puzzle solving game. You were stuck on this island, and there's a bunch of pirates and shit, and you had to throw barrels at them and solve puzzles, and it was really hard, but it was so fun. And I think I actually beat that game, but it took me probably a few years before I actually like completed the entire game.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was a pain in the ass.
David,
yeah,
this is your time to speak now on the SNES, or forever hold your peace.
Well, like I said, I did say I know that the game I remember playing was Super Mario World. I'm just like I said, I was just checking to see if there's any other games that like
You could
popped
have
up.
potentially played, yeah.
Yeah,
And
and
by
like
good,
there's a few of these
Yeah.
that are like, oh yeah, I know of that game, but I don't think I've ever played it.
Did you
and by
guys ever play any like of the Ninja Turtle games on that system?
No.
Yeah.
so
So, by the way, Timbo, I bought the Cowabunga
yeah, I saw.
Cowabunga collection.
And I don't know if I told you this yet already, but Chris told me the other day that since it's on Black Friday sale, the $120 edition of 2K24 for WWE is
Yeah.
$60. So you'll have access to that. And then I don't know how much spare money I have, but I might get Madden because it's also on sale, extremely discounted. But I'm not gonna hold my breath to it because honestly, I have more important stuff to pay for. So it's like if I could spare, it's gonna be a toss up between Phasmophobia and Madden because me and Chris tried to do Phasmophobia the other day and it won't let us connect PC to Xbox.
Aw.
And we had crossplay enabled and we were working and trying on it and we could not get into a game last night because we tried to play a game. So it looks like we're all gonna need console version. Not that I have any qualms against getting the console version because I want to boost my Xbox gamer score, but yeah. I'd rather spend the $20 to get Phasm than the $20 to get Madden.
Yeah.
That being said, I'm going to jump into probably 4 game systems nobody's ever heard of because I didn't hear of these until then. In 1991, we also had the Neo Geo AES.
Let me look that one up because
I swear, David, I swear to God, if you could, if you know this, Chris
It's called
gets
the
negative
Neo
6
Geo.
point. Neo Geo.
Why do I
Neo
get
Geo?
-6? What did I do?
I just want to tease you, buddy.
Tim,
You're
it
not
was
in
Neo
the
Geo
negative.
what?
Neo Geo AES came out in 1991.
I have seen the console. I have not played it. But the only reason I saw it is I was at a video game museum in Seattle.
I could
So it
believe
was
that.
like, it was and yeah.
I will give you a
Oh,
half a
do
point for
not give me
knowing.
any points for
No,
that.
I'll give
Do
you a
not
half
give me
a
any
point
points
for
for that.
knowing.
I will reject it completely. I do not deserve a point for that one. I know of the
Man.
console, but
Fine.
Man, that console looks like ass.
I was giving you a half a
Yeah.
point, but you said you don't deserve a point, so now you just have half a point, and I took away a point.
okay.
Eat your
Here,
words.
how about you give me half of that point? How about that?
Sure, fine. You know what? If we're gonna have a barter system going on here. All right.
It's gotta go somewhere.
In 1991, we were also introduced to the Philips CDI. Nope.
You know what? I want to give
Oh, well,
each and every
Chris,
1 point from the bottom of my heart.
Ah, Jesus.
Chris had raised his hand, so I thought he was about to like pull it out from.
I'm so sorry. I'll be right back.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, John, I just took away 2 points and gave both David and Chris a point. We're in the barter system. At this given point, looking at my spreadsheet, I don't even know who's winning right now, which is the best part of this whole thing.
What was the name of this console?
It is the Philips CDI, which I want to say I think it was a computer. I didn't even really look into that one.
It kind of looks like a DVD player. Rare touchpad and games. So this is what popped up for me. It's a $900 console right now.
$900?
Yeah, somebody's selling it for $900. It's on eBay, so take that as a grain of salt. But like,
it's a CD player.
Look at that controller.
Yeah, that's a game console. That's a gaming controller.
Dude, that controller looks like it's been through hell.
Right? $900 for that?
And then there's the touchpad.
Got golf, pinball, casino games.
Yeah.
It's crazy, dude.
These are the same people that make light bulbs. It's the same company.
Yeah.
The Philips company.
Well, while Chris is gone, God. I'm going to take a quick intermission. Is that Link?
The Faces of Evil.
I'm going to go check the chicken I have bacon in the oven real quick.
Your quest.
Oh my God. Oh, is this that like really creepy one? Where it was like, sorry.
It looks like Dragon Lair.
Yeah. Oh, dude, when that popped up on Xbox, my dad was like, "Hey, David, here, I'm gonna give you the money. You purchase that. I want to play it because I remember sitting at the 7-Eleven in New Jersey and just throwing quarters into the machine trying to beat that game."
Oh, yeah, dude, it was weird. It was a weird freaking like cartoon storyline game. It was.
Oh no, I've played and beaten the first one.
Yeah, I've never played it.
I think technically I own all 2 of them, 3 of them. That's weird.
Oh,
it's
so
the
sorry,
girls'
guys.
club. Rhythm Maker. Zombie Dinos. Welcome back, Chris. Mad Dog McCree. Oh, dude, it came with a gun.
So in other words, this was like the spawning point of kind of the rail shooter games. It's looking like a little bit.
Connect 4, World of Gambling, Caesar's Palace. I do know. So the Link game. This is the dark point of Legend of Zelda games, and fans of Legend of Zelda do not recognize these as actually being part of the series.
Intriguing.
Yeah, just because they're just so freaking weird. Power Hitter. Fantasy Batting. Sorry.
You're all good.
All right. We're all back now.
All right. So in 1992, we got one of the more first CD consoles, which was the Sega CD. Which I know, saying that after seeing the Philips CDI. Well, yeah. We'll redact that last. Sega CD. Anybody play Sega CD?
Sega CD.
No, I did not play this one.
All right, 1993, we had the Real 3DO. Anybody play that? It's literally called the Real 3DO.
The Real 3DO.
Oh. Real 3DO.
All right, guys. Now we're jumping into the thick of the discussion, which horrifically, like, we've been in the thick of discussion this entire time. Did not expect us to get that much said all the way to 95, but we have in 1995 the Sega Saturn.
No.
Sega Saturn.
John, you have
Sega Saturn. I always wanted to play it, never did.
So, David, well, actually, all three of you may know this place. It's in Las Molinas, and it's the diner that's in Las Molinas.
Sue's place, or it used to be.
Which one?
I think it's called Jack's Diner. It's like at the corner right next to the bank.
So it used to be called Sue's Place.
So back when it, I think, was Sue's place, the kids' room in the diner had a bunch of old gaming systems, one of which was the Sega Saturn, and the very first game I ever played was X-Men vs. Street Fighter. It is also how I played some of the earlier Nintendo titles up there, like Mario was in that diner. My grandpa taking me there just to sit in the game room with me and play games.
That's nice.
All right. Moving on to 1995 again, we have the Nintendo Virtual Boy system.
That's a no from me.
Virtual Boy?
Virtual Boy.
Is it like VR almost? Do you have a picture of it?
There is a picture, I think, of it in the group chat.
Is it kind of like goggles? Like VR goggle looking things?
Sort of?
Yeah, sort of.
And what's it called?
All right, for those of you who
Virtual
are
Boy.
watching, Nintendo Virtual Boy.
Yes. I have played.
I have not, but it is a, for those of you who are listening, which again, strongly encourage you guys to also watch, but it is a pair of goggles on a stand with a controller.
And what you do?
That looks like Doom right there.
Yeah, dude. It was really cool. And that's how it looked too. Like you put it up to your face, like or you put your face up to it, and it was red. And the whole game was red like that. And there was like I thought there was like little joysticks or
Controller.
It shows
down here there's an arm attachment.
Yeah, the famous Nintendo glove.
Yeah, down in the second row on the far left, David.
I used to think that was a meme until I realized that Nintendo really did make a gaming glove.
Same here, dude.
Yeah,
they did. I know they did.
Really cool thing is that when Pizza Hut was in town, they had one of those for a little while. And that's where I first saw it. And it was like futuristic looking shit. Like I was little, dude. And what year did it come out?
1995.
Oh, wow. Okay.
The year I was born.
Yeah. So I was probably like 5 or 6 when I saw this, but I remember like looking into it and kind of playing on it, but it was weird. Like it was just for their customers to play. And I don't know why it was there or how like I was able to mess with it, but I remember that thing.
Here, play this fire pizza.
Yeah. Well, Pizza Hut used to be badass. They had a really cool
the Pizza Hut we used to have here in Red Bluff was amazing. They
awesome.
were the ones that introduced me to Mortal Kombat because they used to have the actual Mortal Kombat arcade cabinet in their store.
Yeah, they have that. They have the
Street Fighter.
Street Fighter. They had a freaking pool table. They had all kinds of cool shit, dude.
Pizza Hut was the bomb back when we had one. I really hate the fact that Red Bluff got rid of theirs. 1995. 1995 was also
a big year in gaming.
It was a big year in gaming, and it's the year that Sony's PlayStation came out.
Ooh.
Played it. I owned it. Played it. First console I ever owned.
First console I ever owned as well. I just spit up stuff. That was gross.
I'm just gonna jump in. I'm not even gonna let the other guys talk.
Wow.
I played Gran Turismo with my dad on that
Like
thing.
off Tomb Raider, those big old coney titties.
It was also the first time that I had played a Mega Man game, and it was Mega Man Legends
On PlayStation, huh?
on PS1.
Mm-hmm.
And then I love the Ace Combat series. I did not know it at the time. My parents had bought me this game called Air Combat. It was a pretty interesting game. Turns out that's the original Ace Combat. It was just called Air Combat in the United States.
Got you hooked.
I'll let you guys talk now.
We'll jump to Chris because I know Retro has a lot to say about it. So Chris,
I went to my buddy's house, and it was probably in like 2013, and he had a PlayStation. Like, it wasn't when I was like a kid, and he had Need for Speed, he had a Tarzan game, and he had Diablo. And we played those.
Diablo 1 released on console? I never know that.
I think that's he had something like that. There was a Diablo game on the PlayStation 1. I remember he had it. He had it looked like a PC game. You know how they came in those like open it up, it was like little square fucking plastic containers and stuff. Yeah, he had that, and it was Need for Speed, a Tarzan game, and Diablo. Or he had those. And they sucked. But it was fun. They all sucked.
All right,
I'm
Retro.
like, all right, I'm gonna go play some fucking Call of Duty now.
All right, Retro. Anything you got to say about PlayStation? The original
PlayStation.
95 PlayStation, like that beautiful startup sound.
Start exactly the iconic.
It was iconic and fantastic.
Sound, man.
Like, even hearing that sound today just it gives me like literal goosebumps and makes the hairs on my hands stand up. Such an iconic sound of my childhood.
The original Diablo released on the PS1 in 1998.
You know what, Chris? You get another bonus point for blowing my mind.
Well,
on
I remember
Diablo
he had Need for Speed, he had a Tarzan game, and he had the Diablo. I remember those are the 3 games that he showed me. He had a bunch of other ones, but they kind of sucked ass too. So.
The Tarzan game, I remember because I used to play the crap out of that Tarzan. It was a side-scrolling Tarzan game.
Oh shit!
I heard
that. And be like, yeah, the game sucks. You want to play some Tarzan? This is the best game.
Nobody cares about your piss water, Chris.
I would drink it. Put some tomato juice in it.
There was a ton of other games that I had for PS1, but those were the main ones. All right, Tim, go ahead and go to the next one.
Throw one out, David.
Dang.
PlayStation, throw it out.
Well, hold on. John,
John, you actually need to talk.
Yeah, you need to talk here.
I was skipping you as a joke, but like
you have not given me anything.
Well, I'm trying here. Okay, so PlayStation. Here we go. Tomb Raider. Vigilante. Spyro. Crash. Freaking Twisted Metal, bro. Oh my gosh.
Oof.
I played so PlayStation. I think I played the first Grand Theft Auto. The like GTA 1.
The top bottom.
Yeah, the top bottom.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if that was on PS1, but
it was. So
it was on PS1.
The PlayStation 1 Classic, the little mini version that you could buy that has all the games preloaded on it, has the original Grand Theft Auto, and it has the original Persona as 2 of the 13 games.
Wow.
That's crazy. For me, since I could actually speak on something here,
I'm not done yet.
Well, let the man talk.
Rugrats.
Oh my God! Fuck you! I was gonna bring that up.
The Rugrats game.
Which one?
The PlayStation version. I don't know. It was just
the PlayStation version.
But it had the intro, the Rugrats intro. PlayStation graphics and stuff, and it was awesome. It was
Do
just
you
like
remember any of the
around the
point of the
house.
game? Like
Like,
anything?
all I remember is like you're in the house, the first level. That's like the only thing that I remember.
Was it kind of sandboxy? Like, was it more side scroller or sand?
Search
It
for
was
Reptar.
it was like a free roam kind of around the front room, and everything kind of looked like it did on the show. And the grandpa was sleeping, and he were like Tommy walking around. Dude, it was badass, man. I remember that shit. My brother's girlfriend had a PlayStation, and yeah, oh my god.
Oh my goodness,
Yeah,
that
So
was.
dude.
this one actually popped up with a GIF of it, but I had this one too,
Yeah.
and it was called Search for Reptar.
Oh wow.
Yep. Bro, I
That
remember
looks like it
playing
right
I don't know
there.
if
that
you guys can
game.
see the gameplay.
That looks like it right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you had to like this particular mini game. You had to run around and find the eggs, and then you were getting Reptar puzzle pieces. And
That's
Dude,
oh
see, this right here is the type of games I want a remake of, okay?
yeah.
no, don't get a remake, man. Just re-release this, that way we can play it.
Yeah. Nostalgic ass stuff, dude. Love it.
Uh,
Rugrats was the
Now,
shit.
that being said, it probably won't look as good since TVs have improved since then.
that don't bug me at
So
all.
when PlayStation came out, Walmart had the controllers and the screens like this, or like
Yep.
caused my
Oh yeah,
neck problems. Oh,
Yep.
just doing that, I'm like, but I remember I was like that for as long as my mom was in the store. I'd be like, okay, mom,
My mom
I'll be
my
at the
mom and
electronics, and
grandpa
I'll be
used to
there
do the
just the
same
whole
thing. They
time.
would drop me off at the game section, do all their shopping, and I remember we would do like SmackDown Here Comes the Pain and stuff that they would have
They
up there on the little
they had a
TV.
list of demos you could go through, and then they had like PlayStation and the N64. Oh my gosh, dude!
I would love the
oh god,
simple fact of knowledge that there was probably at one point in time little tiny me met like younger you and probably fought each other at a game that was in Walmart on one of those
badass, dude.
TVs.
I was like, get your dick out of the way, kid. Stupid
Yep, I
kid.
there's
remember it right there. Exact voice.
You
there's a
really be
lot
ready
of
for this.
there's a lot of PS1 games that I totally forgot that I played. Uh, while you guys are talking about Rugrats and all that, it reminded me that I played a Team Rocket Power game.
Oh,
Yep.
hell yeah.
And for the life of me, cannot remember which Rocket Power game it was, but I know that I played a Rocket Power game on PS1.
That's awesome.
Unfortunately for me, a lot of my original PlayStation games, my sister took, and then it got stolen.
I wonder if G2G would have emulators of some of these older games. Because I kind of want to find the Rugrats one now. But for me, the first PlayStation game I could remember playing was Crash Bandicoot. And it was like forever one of my most favorite games, period. And then my fondest memory is probably growing up as a kid and watching my mom just hardcore play the original Tomb Raider. To the point where I personally have only done the first mission in the OG Tomb Raider, and that's as much as I've ever played of it. But I've seen my mom play a majority of it.
Such a pain in the ass.
I'm gonna buy the remasters on Xbox eventually because they remastered 1 through 8. No, 1 through 6.
3, wasn't it?
Nope, they just released another trilogy. They have the first 6 games remastered now.
Whoa.
Same thing with
No.
all of the Final Fantasy games. They remastered all the OG ones.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy
G2G does not have the original Rugrats game, though you can
Damn it.
find the original Rugrats game as a like free download. I just don't know if you want to trust it.
Yeah, I don't really trust free download games. All right, moving on from PlayStation. We're looking at 1996. We have the Nintendo 64.
Never
Played it.
David's played it.
Yeah.
As you being the only one who's played it, David, anything you got to say to it?
Isn't the controller? It has it's like this, but it has the handle in the middle as well.
Yes.
Okay. I never played it, but I know what it is. Has like Mario 64, I think it's called.
So, this takes me back to my dentist again. I told you we could be coming back to this a couple times. GoldenEye.
Yep.
I played GoldenEye on it. I did not get to play a bunch of GoldenEye, which was disappointing, but I did play GoldenEye on it. Oh, and we lost room. Oh, there he is.
Yeah,
Welcome
no,
back.
I was looking down at my cat. All right. So I'm giving you the point for gold. Yes, John.
Do you really think I've never played the Nintendo 64 before?
You said why would we? Why would
I mean, I was trying to get some like reaction out of you guys, but you're just like, nah, he's probably never played before in his life.
If he says no, like shocking, but sure, okay, whatever.
One of the most popular Nintendo consoles. I fucking love that. So Mario Kart was the first game that I played on the 64. Mario Kart. So there's a game called Rampage, which is you're just monsters like destroying a city and eating people.
You know, the Dwayne Rock Johnson movie.
Your buddies have to compete for points in how much you can destroy of the town. And so Rampage World Tour, I think it was called, was the one I played. Vigilante 8 was one that I mentioned on PlayStation, but I also used to have it for 64. It was kind of like, I just want to say Metal Gear. It was kind of like Twisted Metal, but different. It was cars and buses and all kinds of shit. It was one of my favorite games to play on the 64 ever. You played it before?
No, I'm just really disappointed in myself because you said Metal Gear, and I completely spaced the fact that I used to hardcore play Metal Gear Solid, like the Shadow Moses one on PlayStation 1.
Oh, yeah.
No idea how to infiltrate.
I'm surprised you didn't mention that, dude, honestly.
Tim's so sad.
So one of the oddest games I've ever played, it was like very unique in its time, and it was the first mature game that I ever played. It was called Conker's Bad Fur Day, and it was a squirrel who talked shit, and it was violent and like sexual, and it was crazy. Like I didn't even know what the hell was going on when I was playing it, but I always remembered it, and I love that game so much. And it had really fun like shooter modes. It was kind of a third person shooter game.
Yes, if you would like to play it now, on a more modern console, it's in the rare replay.
Yeah, rare replay.
Yeah, so I highly recommend it if you have that to check it out and play it or get it.
It's rated M for mature for a reason.
Rated M for mature for a reason.
So we are at a 2-hour mark for the
I need to go pee. Just real quick. I'm so sorry.
Just go. Go.
What year are you trying to get to, Tim?
We're getting to 2006. So what we're gonna do for the next few years here is we're gonna kind of lightning round it. So I am specifically looking for the first game you could remember playing and your favorite memory. Because I know as we get into like PlayStation 2 and more of the modern retro ones, we could speak for hours, but we are hitting a 2-hour mark. We've had a lovely time.
Some of us have work in the morning.
I had the day off, so
well, lucky you.
Good for you. I got a close.
So we are looking at 1998. We got the Game Boy Color. Just raise your hand if you've played it.
Hang on. Do you want to wait for him to return first?
He's sorry. Listen, you want realism here? I literally gave Chris -5 points. He earned 1 point at the beginning, -5, which dropped him down to -4. 1 point, so now he's -3. He's gotten 2 half a points, which brings him to -2. 1 point, which brings him to -1, a half point, which brings him to -0.5, 2 points, which brings him to 1.5, half a point, which brings him to 2, 2.5, 3, 4, 5, 6. Chris is at 6 points. Oh, hi, Chris.
Oh,
How's it
hey,
going,
buddy.
Okay.
Sorry. I'm
So,
sorry. I tried to hold it, but
it's all good.
didn't work
buddy.
in my favor. It really didn't.
So, 1998, we got the Game Boy Color. Raise your hand if you've played it. David, John. Okay, everybody gets a point. It's pretty much Pokemon from there, so we're gonna keep going.
Actually, it was a Hot
Pokemon.
Wheels game for Game Boy Color was the first one.
Okay, well, David, you get an extra bonus point because you proved me wrong. And I'm not sassy enough to be mad about it. We are looking at 1999. We have the Sega Dreamcast.
No.
The Dreamcast was another console that I always wanted to play, but never did. The controllers almost reminded me of Xbox controllers, like
The
original
Duke.
Xbox controllers.
Yeah. So I played Soul Calibur 1 and House of the Dead 2 on the Dreamcast. We are looking at the year 2000. We got Sony's PlayStation 2. I was going to say, I'm sure everybody, I will give a little extra time on this one just because the PlayStation 2 is, out of the entire list of games, one of the only franchises that held up way past its own generation. Because I believe it released its last game in the 2010s.
I think so, yeah.
Which was, if I'm not mistaken, like FIFA or some other soccer game.
I don't know about that
So
one.
the PlayStation 2 kicked around for a little bit. We're going to start with Chris. Chris, what is the first game you can remember playing on the PlayStation?
I can remember playing Grand Theft Auto Vice City, but the big one for me was the Jack and Dexter series by Naughty Dog. That was those games. And Jack X, the racing game that came out as well, was just incredible. I loved those games. Especially Jack and Dexter, the first one. That one holds a little special place in my heart.
I agree. I have to agree on that 100%.
It's really good.
All
And
right.
Gran Turismo 4, which was it had the white cover. That was a really fun game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, yeah, PlayStation 2 was awesome.
All right, we're gonna move to retro. What was the first game you remember on PS2?
Oh my golly. Wow. The first game on PlayStation 2, I don't know, bro. Honestly, I can't remember the first game I played on that console. I have so many games like wanting me to shout their name out, but I can't remember the first game I played on that, to be completely honest.
You know what? I will give you a bonus point for honesty. What is your favorite game you remember playing?
God of War.
Oof.
Ooh,
Oof.
that's good. God of War 3 was
I gotta say,
awesome.
God of War, honestly, like, was a revolutionary game. For sure. I had never played a game like it before, and once I played it, I was freaking addicted to it. I'll never forget the first time I played that game, dude. Swinging those chains around, you're just like, what the? It was
Beautiful.
almost like, because I think I had played the Spawn game before I played God of War, and Spawn had a lot of similar mechanics to God of War, but the storyline of God of War was just amazing.
Right.
Yeah. It really pulled you in. I think that was the first game that I was actually intrigued by story wise.
David, do you remember your first PlayStation 2 game?
Yes. And I'm gonna get judged for this one because I was in kindergarten, first grade, and it was Grand Theft Auto Vice City. And the reason why it was the first game is family friends were babysitting me, and he had a PS2, but the only game that he had was GTA Vice City. So they would sit me on their bed. They would be elsewhere on the farm, and I would just be playing the beginning of Grand Theft Auto Vice City over and over. Every time I would go over, I would have to start the game over again. Uh, and then I got a PS2 for Christmas, and I got Grand Theft Auto 3, San Andreas. When it came out, I actually bought San Andreas from Kmart. I
Oh, no
walked down.
shit.
I walked down with my money. My parents were not with me. I walked up and I'm like, I would like to buy Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, and the guy's like, yeah, sure, here, $40. So
Back when
I
you
bought.
didn't get
Just
ESRB
work here,
rate,
bro.
like
No. It
carded.
was ESRB. It's just
Yeah,
the
you
Kmart
just
employee
didn't
did
get.
not care.
I was gonna say back then you just didn't get carded for it because I remember buying San Andreas as a kid and other rated M games.
Wow, for real.
Um, to answer the next question that I know is coming,
Mm-hmm.
uh, there's a few. So Ace Combat, I fell in love with Ace Combat 5, and then I ended up buying 0 and 4, which was Shattered Skies. But the other one was Kingdom Hearts,
Oh shit.
both 1 and 2.
Oh shit. David.
So for me, the first PlayStation 2 game I remember playing would be SmackDown versus Raw. Because I was like, as a kid, I was heavily into the wrestling games. So I remember that being it's either that or it was Tony Hawk's Underground 2, were like the first PlayStation 2 game I played. My fondest PlayStation 2 memory, I would have to say, because you see, I want to say it'd be like SmackDown versus Raw 05, because I had this childhood friend named Morgan who, like, he would come over and spend nights on the weekends, and we would literally just do 30-man
Oh my
Royal
God.
Rumbles all night
Yeah.
long. And we'd throw ourselves in either randomly or as the first two and just go through all 30 people or all 28 people. So that's a really fond memory. I had another one pulled up. San Andreas was probably my first GTA outing. And
Really?
I don't want to say it was my first PlayStation 2 game because I don't believe it was, but it was definitely my first GTA.
So
I'm trying to think on it.
the reason why I'm bending down is because we just moved. I actually have all my PS2 games still with me. They're I don't know, the camera's not picking them up. I apologize everybody. Like I said, we just moved, so the house is still a disaster. Well, we moved, we just haven't had a chance to the things. So Katie had Spyro New Beginnings.
Played that.
Test Drive Eve of Destruction, which I absolutely loved this game. Katie's sister had Pirates Legend of the Black Buccaneer. Katie had Spyro the Eternal Night. I
Played
own
that.
Grand Theft Auto Vice City Stories.
Played that.
Oh, cool.
Ace Combat 4, there's Ace 4 and 5.
Didn't play
The
those.
original Stuntman.
Played that.
Gun.
Wow.
Love that.
Oh,
This one, dude, I really want them to do a remake. True Crime New York City. Dude, I loved this game.
Dude, that game
Fucking
was so
Jesus.
fun.
I gotta give you another point, David.
Liberty City Stories. This one, by the way, you gotta love it. I don't know if you can see it. I made my own case. It's Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. I think I had bought this. Yeah, bought it from GameStop. I don't know if you can see their original sticker. Bought it for $18. Because I had lost my original copy because it had broke, or it was my sister or something. But I got another case for it. Battlefront 2.
Oh,
Nice. Respect.
damn.
Respect.
This one's gonna be a weird one. Herbs Sims in the City.
Ooh,
I've seen that before.
It's the first Sims that I had ever played.
Yeah.
Scarface, The World Is Yours.
Played that, but on
good game.
Xbox.
Jaws Unleashed. Now the reason I don't have a case for this one is I had bought it from GameFly. Here's Ace Combat 0.
Come on, GameFly.
Try before you buy.
Katie had Spyro. This is the Hero's Tale. She had Ratatouille.
I'll give you an extra point if you could pull up Year of the Dragon. Listen, I will give you a point if you could show me the kit.
Dawn of the Dragon.
I think that was the sequel to Year of the Dragon.
Yeah, there's more PS2 games in here, but I didn't grab hers. Like, here's Grand Theft Auto 3.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I got five more from this box. Need for Speed Underground, the original one.
2.
Good game.
Need for Speed Most Wanted.
Love Most
Good.
Wanted.
That's fucking so fun.
Tim, this one's gonna be a blast from the past for a conversation we had just a couple days ago. American Wasteland. Tony Hawk's American Wasteland.
Stop
Katie
the
had
Wooly Bully. Stop the
Katie had
Wooly
Wally, and then, of course, I can't have Underground without Underground 2.
Riders on the Storm.
We did own other PS2 games, but my sister ended up with some, and
I have 2 of them.
Yeah, you have 2 of them. Which 2 do you have on mine?
I have Area 51 and I have Simpsons Hit and Run, which that was the game I was trying to think of when I was thinking of my most favorite moments. PlayStation 2 had probably the one game I've really wanted and a huge community of people have really wanted to have remade, but due to licensing issues, it won't ever happen. Simpsons Hit and Run, which was a GTA clone, but with Simpsons.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so fun. And yeah, I'm gonna be bringing it back for the like Throwback Tuesday, Thursday series. And I finally found the cord I needed to make my PlayStation work with the Roxio. So I could finally do it.
It's funny you mentioned making the PlayStation work. I have to replace the laser of the PS2.
Oh.
So that's why we still own the games because they're amazing. I have to replace the laser and then I have to refine the cable that we had that connected it from AV to HDMI.
Definitively, I could say PlayStation 2 was the golden era of gaming.
PlayStation 2 was
It had
bomb.
the biggest assortment of the best
catalog. It had the biggest catalog of games
ever made. Best games.
So, to push past the PlayStation 2's entry into the history of games, we have 2001, which was also another big year for systems. We had the Game Boy Advance, which I'm just gonna gloss over. We had Microsoft's Xbox, which kind of kick-started the console wars.
Sure did.
Halo.
Halo
was the first one, the only one that I can really remember. No, I take it back. There was a Hummer one. There was a Hummer racing game that I remember playing. I did not own the original Xbox. One of my friends owned it.
Yeah, there was like an off-road racing game that came with it, I think.
Yeah.
Halo. And then some kind of off-road racing game came with it. I honestly don't really remember many early titles for the Xbox. I know I played a Wolfenstein game because I think we would rent more games than we buy.
Yeah, dude, GameFly was amazing.
GameFly was amazing. Redbox, back when they rented out games, was amazing. Having access to a Blockbuster.
GameFly still exists, surprisingly.
We used good old Blockbuster and Hollywood Video.
Yep, I remember the good old days of renting games from Hollywood and Blockbuster. I miss it. Every time I look at the dead carcass of Hollywood Video, I get a little sad.
There's still a Blockbuster
in Oregon.
Existing. It's in Oregon.
They made a Netflix TV show out of it.
They did. It was pretty good too.
I haven't seen it.
It's just one season. It was fun.
Chris, anything to say on the Xbox?
I got one for my 13th birthday from my mom, who bought it from one of her friends, and it had Need for Speed Most Wanted. That's where I first played that at. And then it had I think I also got another copy of GTA Vice City, but other than that, I just remember Most Wanted. That was about it.
So for me, the Xbox is when I really jumped into the like gamerness of my own personality, and it's due to Halo. That's why Halo always has such a nice, loving spot in my heart. This is for you, David, because I know the animosity that you have with me in Halo, which is why I'm wearing a Halo t-shirt and the Xbox hat. But God, first game I ever played on Xbox was for Halo, and we got it for one of my birthdays. And I remember my mom being so pissed off at me because I would keep my little brother up to like early AM just playing Halo with him. And I remember we got to the flood when you first get introduced to the flood in Halo, and my brother started having night terrors of the flood, and my mom got rid of the game.
What?
Yeah, it was that bad. The second game I owned for Xbox was Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball.
Oh my god.
And I was a little kid watching some animated titties bounce up and down while I played volleyball, which then very quickly became my favorite sport in real life.
Huh.
But
Weird.
I also very iconically remember playing Mortal Kombat, Armageddon, and Deception on the Xbox, which are two of my still favorite Mortal Kombat games.
Yeah, dude.
So in 2001, Nintendo also released the GameCube. Anything
played
y'all
on that
could
one.
say about that?
Super Mario Sunshine.
Huh.
That was a GameCube, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Because it was the purple controller and like had like the weird little yellow. Yeah.
Was Sunshine where you had like the backpack with the
Yeah, it's the one that you were
there you
the
go.
indentured servant on a vacation island, because the alternate alter ego, there was an evil version of Mario running around. So I did not own the GameCube, but I played the game.
That hurricane's hitting here. I could hear the fast winds blowing cold air under my door. And something just smacked my door. So, Chris, anything to say on GameCube?
Mario Kart Double Dash, 1,000% is my favorite game on the GameCube.
Anything else to say? We're speed running it, so if you got something to say it quick.
SpongeBob, Battle for Bikini Bottom. That one was really fun too.
That was my jam on PlayStation 2. John?
GameCube is where I first played True Crime, Streets of New York. Where I first played Sims, The Herbs, and a couple other titles that David had. Can't really remember them exactly. Never had one, but I borrowed one from a friend every now and then and would play different games and stuff.
So I had a really bad neighbor, and that's all I'll say on it, that had a GameCube. And through that, I was introduced to Mario Party, Shadow the Hedgehog, which was like one of my favorite Sonic games ever and still is to this day because it was an edgy, like hard T borderline like M Sonic the Hedgehog game that Shadow was like the main character of. And in high school, back when on PlayStation 2, one of the last games my grandfather got me before he passed away was Resident Evil 4, the 2005 one. And it was on PlayStation 2. Me and my ex-fiance Nicole, I would go to her house every weekend, and it'd be me, her little brother, her little sister, and her dad would all just gather in her room and watch me play that game. Which is kind of like the inspiration of why I do what I do now. But oh damn. Yes. So we're going to speed run this because yeah, there's a giant storm.
This is what's currently hitting you guys. This wall is currently going this way.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, we're having a little bit
for
of
those
a
of you
weather
listening,
thing.
I'm showing
Bring
the
it
weather
on,
map
dude.
of a green blob just moving over Northern California.
So yes,
y'all about
in
to
high
lose your
school,
internet.
after beating Resident Evil 4, I transitioned to the GameCube, in which I started playing Resident Evil 2 and 3, like the OG versions of. And then I obviously played the original Resident Evil on PlayStation 1. Here's one that nobody's ever heard of, but the Nokia N-Gage came out in 2003, which was the Nokia cell phone that allowed you to play actual video games on, one of which was Saints Row. We have the Nintendo DS. Hands for Nintendo DS. We got 1, 2. Chris, you have a DS. You literally showcased it earlier in the episode.
Game Boy.
That was
a Game Boy.
Yeah, Nintendo Game Boy.
I've been waiting for the Game Boy. You said it advanced,
SV.
but you didn't say Game
That's an
Boy
SV.
Advanced SP yet. So
That would have been
I've
Game
been
Boy Advance.
But there was an SP one that came out like the same year.
It's
But
the
still, I was
same-
waiting
I
for
skipped-
the SP.
I skipped the one thing Chris has been waiting for.
I'm
That's
just
why I
gonna
suggested we
showcase.
taken all the Game Boys and categorized it into one.
That's what I ended up doing after we reached a certain point. That's why I was like, I'm skipping over the advance because I
Yeah.
already gave Chris
I
a
did have
point.
one that it's your boys holding. Oh shit, it's beautiful.
All right, from there we're jumping because the DS came out in 2004. Anybody got a favorite game they want to mention for it?
No.
The Sims.
Nintendogs.
Which one? I don't remember which Sims, but the Sims.
No, my sister owned it, so I remember playing it. I just couldn't tell you what game it was.
2005. We have what
maybe?
probably became my second favorite console ever. We had the Xbox 360. I am going to lead off on this. The first game I remember playing was Call of Duty 3 on a random person I didn't even know's 360. The first game I ever bought on 360 was Lost Planet.
Ooh, I hated that game.
I love that game, and I'm heavily considering buying the trilogy on the backwards compatibility. Because Lost Planet 2 did a crossover with Gears of War.
Really?
Yes. And it was really freaking cool. It was either 2 or 3.
Lost Planet was good.
But yeah.
You
Xbox
bastard.
360, Lost Planet. One of my favorite memories is Call of Duty Modern Warfare. I was playing online. We had this friend. His name was Nosferatu DJ. And he worked with Activision, who made the game. And he liked how I played so much that they offered me to join his MLG gaming team. But due to the fact that I was only about 14, 15 years old, somewhere in there, no, 14. I couldn't do it without my dad's permission, and my dad was so butthurt because it was his friend before mine, and the guy never offered my dad a position, so he denied it. Because I used to go fucking hard in Modern Warfare. And Halo 3. Halo 3 is also an honorable mention. David, we'll jump to you. 360. Go.
First one was Modern Warfare 2. Playing multiplayer with friends. And then when I finally got one, I played Modern Warfare 2. There's a ton of games for the 360. Constantly staying up late on school nights playing games with friends. Some of them were like Xbox arcade games.
Yes,
that
the
don't
Xbox
exist anymore.
360 had amazing arcade games like Splusion Man or the Doritos Crash Course. Or the
Yeah,
Burger King games were also a hidden gem.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they were. There was a lot of.
Oh, they were ass.
There was Sneaking
Oh
King.
no, they're horrible, but
they were horrible, but so fun if you had the right people to play with.
Oh, oh shit.
It's like playing touch butt in the park, bro. It's amazing, but terrible at the same time.
A lot of my gaming expertise came from, or like gaming experience came from the PS2 and from the 360. Because the 360, I went from the PS2 to the Wii to the, PS2 to the 360 and the Wii.
I went straight from PS2 to 360 to Xbox One. Once I got the 360, I quit getting PlayStation games until I became an adult because I didn't buy the PS3 until I was already out of high school, so like 2015. And matter of fact, it wasn't until like 2 years ago that I rebought the PS3, and then last year I bought the PS5, and then had the PS4 for a while too.
Yes, let me see. I mean, there was tons of games. I actually have more games sitting in the box next to my leg, because that's where the 360 games are currently sitting. But I'm not going to go through that list unless you really want me to.
It's
I
up
will
to you.
bust
Do you
out.
want the points? Do you want the points? It's all up to you.
All right. The things I do for points. This is not all of my 360 games. I have a lot of digital ones, and I have another box somewhere. Making me bust out my games for points.
You better have Gears of War up first.
Let's see. Prison Architect. Oh, that's Xbox One. Hang on.
Prison Architect is fun.
We got Fable 3, Homefront.
So
This one, I think.
Fable was one that I forgot to mention on the Xbox. That was one of the first Xbox games that I played.
Yeah,
Tim's missing out on it.
I forgot to mention it as well. Oh God, I miss having that case.
And another one for Xbox was Splinter Cell. That was one of the first Xbox games I played.
All right. So, gonna be some weird ones. This one's gonna be interesting because it says that it's the original Xbox, but it's not. This is Area 51's case.
Yeah.
Oh, I actually have the Area 51 in here. That being said, I can't play it because I don't own the original Xbox.
I do.
The Godfather games. So I have Godfather 2 here.
I love Godfather 2.
Black Ops 2. Here's the Steelbook case, if I can get it to actually.
Oh, that's badass.
I'm legit a little jealous. I had the poster, but I didn't get the steelbook.
Mercenaries 2. I love the Mercenaries series, man. Gonna be some weird ones now. Blazing Angel Squadrons of World War II. Lego Pirates of the Caribbean. Tom Clancy's response to the Ace Combat games. We have Hawks and Hawks 2. Ace Combat 6. Mortal Kombat, the complete edition, but the Mortal Kombat game for 360.
I am very high key jealous, and I'm giving you 2 bonus points for that.
And then here is the Godfather, the original Godfather. I did not get the original case, unfortunately. And then I have a ton more games that are
Were you ever
digital.
disappointed when GameStop would give you not an original case for one of their games?
Hell yeah.
Still am.
Hell yeah, I was.
But as a kid, I would just make my own case if I felt like it. Yeah. And then GameStop told me I wasn't allowed to do that anymore. But yeah, so that's my 360 games that I have sitting next to my leg.
All right, Chris, 360. Jump in and go.
I didn't have one. Never had a 360. I played my cousins, and it was mainly Call of Duty Black Ops 2, but that was about it.
Retro? 360.
Halo 3, Gears of War. Let's see what else for 360. Freaking Left 4 Dead was such a fun game.
Left 4 Dead was revolutionizing, and I hate the fact that I tried to buy a copy of it to play with Whiskey and Bry. Amazon is selling it for $99 fucking dollars.
Damn!
It is a very sought after game and very hard to find.
Yep, because Valve discontinued their licensings with Microsoft, so you can't buy it on the store anymore.
I had to. Not sure what happened to it, but I had to. Let's see here. What else? 360. Fable. I had a Def Jam game. That was one of the games that I wanted to mention for PlayStation 2 was Def Jam Vendetta and like Def Jam Fight for New York, the first one and two. And then I had for 360, I had another one, which is Icon or something like that. Those were all fun. I don't know.
All right.
Know.
From
$40,
Xbox,
Tim.
Where at?
Amazon.
Oh, no, I must have been looking in like a really bad area on Amazon.
A lot of random games for.
Oh, Fear, dude, the Fear series. I don't own a physical copy of the disc anymore, and that makes me sad. But the Fear
I know
series.
It makes me sad too because Fear 1 is backwards compatible only if you own the disc.
Damn.
And I think it's bullshit that they added backwards compatible games like that where you could only play it if you have disc. Because I would literally buy Fear if they had it on the marketplace. Fear scared such a good horror game. Nonetheless, PlayStation 3 came out in 2006. Anybody got something to say for that?
Uncharted.
We're not doing hands. Uncharted
series.
No hands. Ah, fuck you, David. That was the one I was going to talk about. Chris, PS3.
Well, the first time that I played the Walking Dead Telltale series was from a red box from the Circle K in town. That was the first time that I had ever played any of the Walking Dead games. Hated it at first, but grew to love it. And Grand Theft Auto 4.
First time I played Fallout 3 was on a PS3.
Yes. God, that is such a good game.
I do love Fallout 3.
Yeah.
For me, my first PS3 game was Infamous. I played it when I became homeless, and a friend took me in, and I played that. Literally stayed up for like 2 days straight, just playing that game and beat it. All right. That leaves us off with 2006. The last console on this list, we have Nintendo's Wii. All right. Chris, I'm going to have you talk last because you're the most excited.
I don't remember what the first one was. Probably Wii Sports, honestly. But fantastic game. Twilight Princess though. On the Nintendo Wii. That was I would constantly be sick from school and I would just sit at home and play Twilight Princess. I also had a Spider-Man game where you had to sit there and actually like move the controller to
it was Spider-Man 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, to do the web swinging.
And you had the nunchuck and everything, and you had to do it with this one, and then like move your character. Yeah.
That
was Spider-Man 3.
All right. I suppose I will hand off the reins to the very excited ItsYaBoi.
Well, what about Mr. Retro?
Honestly,
did you have a Nintendo Wii?
I don't have much to say about a Wii because I've only played it kind of at friend's house. I never got into that system, unfortunately.
Oh, I do have one more thing. You reminded me. I played. So I had already played Black Ops on the 360, but I played Call of Duty Black Ops on the Wii, and I remember playing zombies and physically turning the gun sideways and killing the zombies with a sideways gun because that was the cool thing to do. It was like, oh, kill shot. Sorry. Go ahead, Chris.
Okay, so my bad. I was pulling out some of my favorite Wii games. So, my favorite, the first game I would say is also Wii Sports. I mean, that's the game that it comes with, so it's an obvious.
Yeah.
But the games that I really enjoyed were this one's called Death Junior, Root and Evil. It was pretty fun. I want to replay it, but and then Call of Duty 3.
Call of Duty 3 was a great game.
Call of Duty 3 was amazing.
This is a Sonic racing game. Sega All Stars Racing.
Nice.
360.
A Ben 10. It's called Ben 10 Alien Force.
I remember that one. Yeah.
Super fun. A Cars game called Mater National.
Nice, nice.
Oh yeah, and it is terrible, but I love it nonetheless. Madden 11.
Nothing wrong with that. Did you have to actually physically throw the football?
Yes, I believe so. And then I don't have it with me. It's out in my living room. But my all-time favorite Wii game is Wii Party. That is my shit, dude. I love that game. Tim, play with Tim.
We did.
It's awesome.
A couple nights ago, right before we started wrestling.
Dude, the game, I had to buy it for $75.
These are. I only have a couple. Here. There's the Twilight Princess Wii Sports Resort. The reason I don't have a ton of Wii games is my sister took all of the Wii games because she took the Wii with her.
No.
Yeah. So she had taken the PS2. I managed to fight and keep some of my games. Some of them are gone. She took the Kingdom Hearts games. And the Nintendo Wii, I didn't have a ton of games because she constantly kept it. So I don't have any of those. So, and then Katie has Rise of the Guardians.
Oh, cool.
Good movie.
Never seen it.
You should check it out.
It is a good movie.
So,
for me on the Wii, it was Michael Jackson's The Experience, Resident Evil: The Dark Side Chronicles.
I'm sorry, buddy. That must have been a hard experience.
Spoiler, he dies.
Jesus. But yeah, I'd say this was a very... All right. I'd say this was a very interesting episode. Did not expect it to go on for 2.5 hours. But I have the points tallied. That's what I was doing while you guys were talking about the Wii. Chris is the only person who got points for the Wii part because Chris had a natural handicap. He's had it since birth, but it's okay.
We still love him.
We still love him. So, Chris, I want to put into perspective, Chris. You had -5 points, or -4 jumping in, because I gave you a point originally, then -5, then I let you work it back. You ended out with 29 points. David, you brought a lot in. You had a lot of presentation.
Mm-hmm.
You ended with 35.5 points.
Mm-hmm.
John. Fuck
with
you.
15.
You're back. This whole podcast was a sham. I want to spell this out now. It's a sham. So what originally happened was David used his power of veto. Or not David. John used his power of veto a couple podcasts ago and took the victory and was meant to host an episode, to which we filmed numerous episodes since. And this episode was a throwaway episode for John to win. But thankfully, John has won with a total of 38.5 points. So, congratulations to the double fister in the bottom right corner.
I'm just saying, even if it wasn't all shambles or whatever, you should have just gave me second. I mean, I would have took it. Those -5 points. This is tomfoolery.
Still would have lost with the -5 points not being given.
Let me put this in rankings. John, 38.5. David, 35.5. Tim, 29.7. Chris, 29.
You can give me a 29.8 if you want, but it's pretty ridiculous rankings if you ask me. I personally think that I should have been the one winning, but this tomfoolery and everything. You know,
what?
I'll raise your hand. No, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous.
Complaining and
These
needing
are these circumstances are
pander
absolute
to everybody here. I will raise your score to a whopping 35.4.
Is that above or below David?
Below me.
Okay.
0.1 below David.
Okay. 0.6. Take it or leave it. 7.
All right.
0.7.
Chris got a record-breaking 0.7, while we all got 38s. John, you are the winner of this extremely long episode, which I genuinely did not think we were going to spend that much time talking about consoles from the 70s up to the 80s. But we did, somehow, some way. So, yeah, congratulations speech. Next week, John will be the host. He better have an episode or I'll go to his house and drink all of his coffee.
I mean, you could. It's not going to be next week, but the following week, because next week, Tim, is Thanksgiving.
Maybe we can throw out a quick Thanksgiving episode. A quick,
gobble gobble.
Listen, me and Chris will go to John's house and do a Thanksgiving dinner, and we'll have you on Zoom on the laptop in a corner.
What day?
Huh?
Right in the middle of Thanksgiving dinner.
We'll orchestrate it. I'll give you a day tomorrow.
Okay.
I will plan this out when I see my check.
I'm coming for that ass, John. I'm coming for that ass.
Hey,
we should probably wrap this up because I think you guys are about to lose your power.
What was that?
That storm is about to hit you guys hard, so
bring it on, dude.
Yeah, I'm all lubed up and ready to go.
I got my tank top on under this Halo shirt. I'm standing on the roof of my trailer.
He's just gonna.
I got alcohol, beer. I'm ready to go.
All right, everybody. Thank you guys so much for watching or listening to this episode of the Drinking Corner podcast. Me and my fellow drunkards will see you guys in next week when John hosts for whatever episode we're doing.
I did have a quick question though.
Yeah.
Did I have another lifeline to use? I thought I did.
Oh, from winning the first season? You do have one other thing.
Can I choose a winner? Is that my other one?
That is one. You could veto whoever won and pick who wins.
Yeah.
He did that though, didn't he?
No, he vetoed a winner and chose. He had the power to veto an entire episode, which is what he did technically by vetoing my episode and choosing to host, which is what he did last time. He also had the power to veto a winner and pick who actually won the episode. And since it's the end of the year, if you're looking to use your other power,
I am actually. I appreciate the win, but honestly, my man BossFoss kind of pulled it off, dude, and saved the episode and kind of brought everything together with putting images on the board and and pulling out all his games out of his boxes and just so happened to have
everybody,
it's just sitting right there. So
we're gonna end this episode here because we are going and hitting 3 hours now, and this is gonna be a one-off episode. So enjoy the 3 hours of watching us talk in the timeline and all that. We'll see you next week for a Thanksgiving episode. We'll see you the week after for Razgriz the BossFoss's episode.
I'm a box now. Nope, I'm a
the
box.
BossFoss.
Fox.
Toodaloo, everybody.
Bye, everybody.